What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Eating Shit. If you're new here, the point of this show is to quickly come on here once a week and share the lessons I've learned with you guys in real time so you don't have to make the same dumbass mistakes that I have. Stupid! Or just learn from my experiences in general. If the episode provided value for you, share the show on your story or send it to someone you think would benefit from it. And also throw up a 5-star review on the podcast app or a thumbs up on YouTube if you're listening on there. So real quick lesson this week, as usual, sitting here on Saturday trying to figure out what I learned that I can share with you guys that'll be of value. And I think a good lesson that we got this week was just one of volume. And it seems so simple, but I think a lot of people overlook this in general. Is just like people highly underestimate the volume that it takes to do whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And I tell this to newer investors all the time, since a lot of you guys know that I run a local meetup here in Reno for real estate investing once a month. That's usually like for wholesaling or flipping, or, usually one of those two things is what we talk about most of the time. So through that, and then through like social media and other stuff, I'm always talking to usually people that want to get into wholesaling, but even just like new flippers in general. And like one of the things that they highly, highly underestimate is volume. Whether you're talking about leads or offers or whatever, it just takes so much more than they think. I talk to people all the time that, I can ask them, how many deals did you like underwrite this week? Or how many offers did you make? And almost always, especially for offers, it's zero. They're just not offering. And it's like, okay, let's do the math here. If you make 0 offers, how many deals can you buy? Okay, everyone got that part. But even further than that, like, I get it. When you're new, you just don't have that data that we have now at this point, where we can look back on our previous deals, our previous year, and say, okay, for every 6 offers we make, 1 is getting accepted. And then we have that number for the leads too. It's like for X amount of leads that comes into the pipeline, this is how many deals we can buy. So then at that point, we can just reverse engineer everything, and it's just math for however many deals we want to do. Now, yeah, there's caveats to that, and there's nuances, because, we can't just like cut a check for this marketing and flood the system with leads, because we don't have like either the infrastructure or the team to handle all of those leads. So you're just going to be throwing money down the drain. But, especially at the beginning, you just have to do so much more than you think. And a good example of this is, especially for like content, is someone like Grant Cardone. And Brad Lee has a great story about this, because if you guys follow Grant, or if you've signed up for any of his email lists or anything like that, you know that he's just a fucking savage with how much he posts. And I think content is one of those things, and I'm guilty of this too, that like people want to do it, but then like when they do it, they don't want to annoy their people. They're like scared of posting too much or promoting themselves too much. And Grant is the absolute fucking opposite of that. He does not give a shit. He will post like 50 fucking times a day on every platform. And so the story that Brad Lee's told, that I heard at least, was that, he already knew Grant, and they have like business relationship and stuff. So he's obviously following Grant, and he hit him up one day and he's like, dude, like, I'm going to unfollow you. Like, you post way too much. And Grant's response was, good, you weren't going to buy any of my shit anyway, which is fucking awesome. And then Grant's actually the only person that I've ever heard, like, as far as, again, like with email marketing, people are always scared of the unsubscribes. You never want to get unsubscribes. And Grant, I don't remember exactly where I heard him talking about this, but his take on the unsubscribes was like, I love when I get unsubscribes, because that means that person already knows who I am. And that's his whole thing, is just like post as much as possible just to get known. And then obviously if they're unsubscribing from you, they already know who you are. So like, just a different way of looking at things. But you can see like Grant's volume of content is so much more than almost anyone else. And, it still took him a long ass time, but there's a reason why he's a billionaire, and there's a reason why he can raise money for all these crazy high-level A-class property syndications very, very easily. And it's because of the volume that he put in over the last decade to build that personal brand to be able to raise that type of money. So specifically, like our lesson in volume this week, we've always had a problem with volume in leads. Like, yeah, we've always gotten leads and shit, but we've never gotten enough of them. And that's, another nuance in this. Again, it's like, yeah, you can spend X amount of dollars to get more leads, but like if you're spending too much and not converting enough of the leads, then it doesn't matter because you're not making money, you're losing money because the ROI on the marketing spend is bad. But just looking back here, last 2 weeks, we have had 50 plus leads come into our system 2 weeks in a row. And for a lot of wholesaling businesses, especially businesses that are mostly like cold calling and cold texting, like that's not shit. Like those guys are getting that every single day. But for us, when historically we've mostly been inbound leads like PPC, direct mail, referral based, all that type of stuff, like 50 leads for a week is a lot. That's like double than what we used to get, a few months ago, or even more. Sometimes we would have shitty weeks and there's not even that many leads in there. So we've had 2 weeks in a row of 50 leads since we switched up our marketing, and which is good because that's right at our KPI. I think if I remember right, our KPI is like 46 a week is what we were trying to get. And then also more important than that is like offers made. That is like the metric for the company, because again, if you don't make any offers, you can't buy any fucking deals. And we know that on average, 1 out of every 6 offers that we make gets accepted. So we just have to make way more offers. The issue is it's not the lack of it's not like we have all these things to offer on and we're just not making enough offers. It's a top of funnel problem. It's a lead problem because we just don't have enough leads. Therefore, we cannot make enough offers. Therefore, we can't do enough deals that we want to do. And so this week specifically, we made 15 offers this week, which I didn't even know it was that much. I was just looking at the board right before I started recording this. And that used to be like 3 or 4 weeks worth of offers. So I'm super pumped that we got, those 15 offers in this week. That's fucking great. So I figured, that's a good lesson for you guys. You can apply it to, I gave you the content example, and then I gave you like the real life leads and offers example on how a lot of times like people are doing the right things. They're taking the right action. They're just not doing nearly enough of that action to really move the needle on whatever they're trying to do. So you guys can apply that to whatever it is that you're working on, and just fucking, if you know it's right and you're taking the right action, just do way more of it, and you're going to get way more results. So real quick wins this week, because of those 15 offers that we made, we got 3 contracts this week, and then 3 more that we're super close on, they're currently being negotiated. I don't know if we'll get 1, 2, 3, 0, whatever, but really, really happy with that volume. And then, so I told you guys on last week's episode that we ended up not going into Florida for our virtual wholesale model. So we actually started in Alabama this week. So we just started on like Tuesday, and the 3 that are being negotiated right now are all in that current market, or the new market, I should say. The 3 that we got accepted this week are in our current market here in Northern Nevada. So we got 3 new local deals this week. I got 1 assigned that we already had, not the 3 new ones. And then, yeah, even if we get 0 out of these 3, I'm pretty stoked that we basically immediately turned the marketing on, took massive action, and then we're already super close to doing deals, because I just had a feeling that we would be pleasantly surprised by going to another market, and just with our current setup, our current skill set. And I just thought that I was hoping that this would happen, that we would, take massive action, use our current skill set, and just immediately be able to start doing deals. And it has been a big learning curve already in these past few days. I feel like I'm fucking brand new again. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm looking at these deals online. I'm like, shit, I have no clue what this thing is worth. Like the AVMs on Zillow, Batch, Redfin, all over the place. If they have anything, like half these things sell for $7,000 that are totally destroyed, and which is insane because you can't even get a piece of dirt out in the middle of fucking nowhere up here for $7,000. So we're having a hard time valuing stuff. So, you know, maybe if we locked up all three of these, maybe we have to bail on all three because we're just wrong on our valuations. But again, just taking massive action, and it's nice that we're even close on something, because I was kind of expecting, I was hoping this would happen, but like realistically, I'm like, you know, it's going to be, you know, I think a month before we even get any traction. And then hopefully, you know, we close something in 60 days, proof of concept. And it's like, okay, let's go hard. So, you know, literally on day 2, we're like negotiating an offer and we're close on something. And it's like, all right, I think we're on the right track here. We're doing good. So yeah, pretty stoked on that. I guess it's a super short episode, only 11 minutes in so far, but hey, if the fucking lesson is short, that's all you guys need. So again, recap, volume. If you're doing the right things, just fucking do more of it and you're going to get way, way more results. It's going to be exponential, not linear. So just keep going hard and go harder than you have been. So thanks for listening. We will see you on next week's episode. And again, make sure to leave me the 5-star review on the podcast app. Smash that like button on the YouTube if you're watching there. And we'll see you next week.